All right, so we are live. I'm just going to change one setting on Facebook for myself, so I can join and we'll get started. Um, Here we go. Of course, it's going slow now.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. All right.
Let's go with the flow.
Yeah, it's one of those things. All right. Well, hello, everybody. Sorry for the 30-second delay there. Welcome to this awesome conversation that I get to have with Sarad tonight. This is our third conversation. We are veterans of this
Yeah.
this dialogue between us, and so what we're going to do is really just have a discussion about what's life been like for Sarad after completing the coaching program back in October, and
Mhm.
then we wanted to take this opportunity for you, Sarad, to just share about this app you've been creating and what you've been up to in life, since then. And that's going to be the conversation for us tonight. So welcome. Thanks for jumping on and
Thank you.
coming back into conversation. Anything you want to share before we get started?
Um, we can get started, but thank you for having me, and it's always fun to talk to you. And it's even though after the coaching program we were kind of sort of in touch, and so
I just
that
call
gave
you
us this
randomly.
opportunity. So yeah.
I was just saying I just called you randomly every once in a while just to see how you're doing and stuff. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the cool things. It doesn't happen in every coaching relationship, but I mean, ultimately, um, we got to spend a lot of time together and have deep conversations,
Yeah.
and we have similar interests, and so it's great to continue, fostering the connection that we have between us. Even though we're in different countries and all of that, but I think that's just one of the beauties of both this work and just the technology that we have that we can stay connected in such a way. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you're attending live, feel free to jump in, ask any questions along the way, or anything that's even after the replay is when we put up the replay. If you have questions, then feel free to tag either of us, and we'll be happy to answer questions for you, or I'll let Sarad know, what questions you might have for him. So, um, yeah, really just diving into it, so you completed the coaching program back in October. I think it was around the end of October of
Yeah.
2022. We are now in June of 2023, and whatever you want to speak to, just like what has the life experience been like since then? What's present for you when it comes to that?
Yeah. So time flies, like I mean, I feel like it was just few months, but it's almost been about a year. So I feel like after completing the coaching program, it just like my major breakthrough was I believe I mentioned in our previous recording also. I'll just say was the self trust. Like just seeing the beauty of that self trust as I was trying to navigate the life through the unknown terrains of life, that and the curveball that life throws at. And the coaching program really helped me with taking that self trust in midst of all the things that come along, and to keep to be conscious aware in reality and keep grounded with the practices was really powerful to navigate through a lot of things that I was trying to accomplish in life. I work full-time job, I'm in tech, and I wanted to do something on my own also on the side, and just to see the possibilities, right? I guess I would have not seen that possibilities otherwise, have if I have not done that lot of inner work. Went through your program for a year, and it was a quite intense program in a way of like inner explorations. And so that gave me this like awareness to see what can I make best out of life, having gone through this experience, and the tools and the techniques and things I have at my reach. So some of the things that I'm up to right now in my life is, as you mentioned earlier, I'm working on my app, which is the productivity and the habit building app, something I'm really passionate about. And, before getting to the coaching program, also something I was really curious about was like, how can I improve my life for better? That was the always questions I had. And I guess that also landed me to like really diving deep into myself, understanding how any things are like changing my life for better. And so this is something I'm really passionate about, and I'm working on it for about a year now. It's almost on the app. Before that, like, I was not confident on if I can do it or not, but that program really helped me to see myself in the bigger picture, and you know and understanding uh, why I want to do it in the first place. That helped me to navigate through all this noise that will possibly, the noise that I was encountering, or not to shift my focus from those to like why actually I want to do it in the first place. So, and I'm really
Hmm.
passionate, and what I'm doing, and I was able to successfully launch the app, which was a like dream come true for me, because that was something always on my head, but I guess I would have not done, if I have not gone through the coaching program. It was more about like exploration, finding my why, and yeah, I'm happy with that. And the other thing I'm like, the present with me is like, you and I were, even the program ended, we are in touch, obviously, and some of that, after going through like this intense work, has led me a curiosity to be of service to the other fellow men who have gone through the similar experiences. Having gone through that experience, now I can see, you know my older version, like my struggles, challenges, and how can I connect with the men who are going through the similar journey, and how can I be of them service is something I'm like really passionate, especially the men of my community. I come from Nepali background, so like, on one side I have this cultural barrier with seeing the both sides, the beauty and I guess the challenges I see. I'm trying to be of service to my friends and the people of my background. Like, how can I be of service to them? Like, to understand their challenges, connect with them at where they are present, and help them to navigate. So something along the line, I'm thinking about, like, I'm just connecting. Actually, I also had opportunity to sort of coach my friend, to on his sports career. So did that program with him, and that also led me more clarity and confidence to do that. And I'm also exploring my creative side, also writing some of my experiences of going through the transformation. So yeah, these are the things I'm up to, and I'm really excited about the possibilities of who I can become in this
Hmm.
process.
Yeah, I mean, so many. There's a lot to to sort of take from that, but like, um, from what I can recall from the experience, like as you mentioned, like the big breakthrough was in creating trust,
Mhm.
self-trust, trust of others, trust of the universe. Like all of it is present in that breakthrough, and I think that um, it's I've really noticed, especially in these last 6 months of the work that I've been doing, that like trust and authenticity go kind of hand in hand. Like
Mhm.
they really like support each other. And I my experience of you, especially even these conversations that we've had after the coaching program, has been like this real just like inner trust, which is allowing you to just be authentic out in the world, be who you are, and like life gets created from that place. And to throw a bit of a curveball at you, like, because I know you could speak to that, but like even from a place of like leadership, so like the trust, the authenticity, and how you're leading in the world, what are you noticing from that place?
Yeah. Well, one thing I can say is, oftentimes we think that, okay, at least I used to think, like, okay, if it get easier, I'll do it.
Hmm.
Sort of like trying to take that passenger seat in the life, in my life, and was expecting people to do in certain way, things would get easy and I'll do. That was sort of my thinking previously. Now I think as an opportunity to exercise my leadership in a way, if I find something different, right? So I would now I shift my perspective of rather judging the person um, for their inability. I wouldn't
Mm.
say, but like from the level of awareness they are present in that moment, I see as an opportunity for me to show my leadership and contribute to make the situation better. And I think in that process, um, we really show our gift to the world in terms of like making a better connection with the people, and also changing the situation for the changing the outcome of the situation for the better of both of us. Like it's a win-win situation. And just shifting in that perspective will open the like door of possibilities which we would have not thought of before. So um, yeah, and for people watching us, I would like to, for someone who've been in the passenger seat of situation before, like complaining, oh, why this is not in this way or happening that way, just being a service of and using, like shifting a perspective and being more conscious aware of how can I make things better for interests of both, gives an opportunity to exercise our leadership and create a richer and a better connection with people and change the situation for better. So that's what some of the practice I'm using, to exercise my leadership, and it's been like really game changer, like connecting with people, being more curious about themselves, and creating, fostering these better connections. I think we can change the world one meaningful relationship at a time. So
Yeah, I mean that's there's this model of like the three stages of leadership, and I'm probably gonna butcher this a little bit, but like the first stage, I can't really remember the first stage. I mean, first stage is
right.
really just like leading self, really like there's not that's I mean it's I'll just skip even into like, so stage two is really like leading from a place of I would call it like ego. So like you don't care really about the impact that you're having on the person, you're just like going to get the job done at stage two. So I think like stage one would be like there is no real leadership, like it's sort of like you're at effect
Hmm.
of the world, of how the world is. Stage two is you're coming from that place of ego. And then stage three is like you're actually leading for the best interest of the space. So,
Hmm.
really, like what you're speaking to, of like, this isn't about you, this isn't about me, this is about like what's best for the environment that we're in, what's best for the relationship. So, it's really powerful to hear that from you, just like what you're seeing, how you're seeing that you can lead and support others. It's really like, I think one of the cool things about this work is like oftentimes people will have this mindset that like, oh, coaching is like for the client, but like even for me as coach, like I receive as well, because like you standing for that leadership actually like shows me a pathway too, right? It shows me of like, oh, look at how Sarad is approaching this with like integrity and real like devotion and real leadership. So like I really want to call that out because you really are like modeling that for all.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and thank you for um, yeah, like when we're doing all this exercise, and you came up with these the essence, which I have always. I see it every day, and so that makes me, I guess, believe in myself more, and and now I see like how strongly I'm connected with that, and I think that just changed the dynamics of the relation that we project in the world. Like we can easily shift our perspective from being a victim of situation as opposed to being a leader, and like taking this essence out in the world, and really connecting with ourselves from that place really change the situations. So
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And what Sarad is speaking to in terms of the essence, which you're very masterfully speaking to, is like one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, but also give humanity is actually connecting from our being, connecting from the qualities that we see, in others. And so, just simple ways of just noticing, like, hey, what quality does this person bring to the space? Do they bring confidence? Do they bring humor? Do they bring love? And noticing how that can be a gateway to connection, to conversation, it's
yeah.
totally a game changer. Um, so let's move into, really whatever you want, but like I'd like to kind of create the foundation for the conversation around the app you've created, and like feel free to share more about the app itself, but even just like the process, the leadership that it took to actually create it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy process. I guess it's the same for everything. We as a human, we always like to think about the success story, but what actually goes inside is like how we overcome these challenges. And I think the challenges come with the opportunity. Like often I know it can be frustrating, but yeah, I had those breakdown moments, but I think, if I had not gone through those breakdowns, then there would not have been a breakthrough. So it's important to see the both pictures if we are someone trying to do something of our own, just to be open-minded to both sides and decide if it's us for us or not. So yeah, I had this ambitious goal of creating an app. Little did I realize, it took a lot of process, but in the process, I learned so much. And so in a way, it was opportunity for me to expand my being, my consciousness. So yes, so I started this project of my own initially, and then as I, went along, and then I kind of invited a team to work with me, and it took about 6 months of intense work, and this app was launched, and also like iteratively developing and changing based on the feedback of the people. Well, eventually, I want to serve people, so seeing their perspective, like how and what are the pain points that I'm trying to solve from their point of view, help me to improve my app. And it was in the process I realized it's not about me thinking from my like how I can help, but I think meeting in the common place where I see I'm doing the work, as well as like the feedback from people, and like improving based on that. And yeah, so this is about helping people to be productive, and build a healthy habits and lifestyle. We know that changing a habit is a very daunting task. It's challenging. It takes a certain number of time, and what research has shown that if we have accountability partner to keep us pushing for x number of days, so roughly from 30 days to 90 days, we can form a habit. And changing a habit is a a challenge of its own. So we are trying to use a prompt that is enticing for people to really adopt this mindset. Like, okay, it is going to be challenging, but it is not hard and it's not impossible. But adopting that mindset of like, okay, find why you want to change, then you step into a journey of habit along with the partner. Like, you can choose a friend, you can choose your romantic partner, anyone. It gets easier and fun, and in the process we change the habit. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, just like you said, I mean, there's sort of the scientific backing behind it, like the research behind it, and like, what do you think? Well, and one more piece that I want to add in is like, it's cool to hear you speak to like, hey, like the the creation of this app was really to address the pain points that people are having around, say habit building or,
Mhm.
um, those types of things. And so, like when you look at like all the apps that somebody could buy or even just like download for free at this point, like what do you notice is different about the one that you've created?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know there's a bunch of app that promises that, but I feel like most of the app that at least I looked into the app store or play store, they're just like, they have all these options. You can track XYZ and get into the nitty gritty and all the details. But if some user is just trying to use it for the purpose of forming habits, then it's not very compelling. Like, if I come to the app, I just want to make it really quick. I don't want to, I at least the apps that I saw, they have a lot of details and can get overwhelming and annoying. And so we're trying to change that. We're trying to use a Zen approach of like really, pleasing aesthetics with the minimum steps you can take to create the tasks in the app and then just get started. Like, you want to spend more time outside the app, like doing the work, not on figure and like what you want to do, right? So we're trying to make it very easy to navigate. It's, for the most part, it's pretty intuitive, and user once user can download it, they can go through the app, create a task, and get going in the habit building process without spending more time on to like figuring out how to do XYZ. So yeah, we're taking that away and making like really simple. And
Hmm.
also, the prompt that we are using is friendlier and really pushing with the reminders for users to get into the habits of like take actions and track things like that. So
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, the simplicity aspect of it is really awesome. I mean, especially with your background and, you know, the the skills that you do have. I mean, just like you said, I mean, there's so many distractions these days. Um there's so many ways that like, you could just get lost utilizing an
oh
app,
yeah.
or like you could have the best intentions, like, hey, I want to download this app and stick to a habit, and then it's like, oh, you just get lost in trying to figure the thing out that you eventually just like step away. So
Yeah.
it's great to hear like the simplicity of it, and just like the ease, I guess, in a sense. So one thing that you mentioned is like one of the features is that you can have friends use it as well. So you can set up challenges, you can invite your friends to it. That's it's a pretty neat feature, and I guess like the question that I had there is like, do you see any opportunities to expand on that community piece? Like, I see a lot of
Oh yeah.
apps out there where like, you could, maybe you don't want to do it with your friends, but you want to have some sort of greater community that you can be connected to. So in my long-winded question, explanation slash question there, like, what do you see for that in terms of like the community building aspect of it?
Yeah, I love that question. Actually, as you're like building up your question, I was like, oh yeah, that's the next step. So yeah, so most of our updates right now has been around, like tailored around goal setting expert, like helping people to get into the goal setting. And so next set of features that we are trying to work on is the well-being aspect and the community aspect. So for the well-being aspect, we are like trying to incorporate, like the breathing meditations, relaxation music. And then we're building the community aspect where, we can connect with not only just friend, but to the community and see, where they stand out, see their progress. So in a way, it is like, encouraging for us to see what is the possibility, what we can extend to. So yeah, really, our goal with this app is to make a marketplace for personal development, where we are not only encouraging users to like focus on the goal, but also on the relaxation, because feel that it goes hand by hand. We cannot just exert ourselves to work, but we also need to relax and, focus on our well-being. So, and yes, we are, looking into the possibilities of creating this community for well-being also, and our ultimate vision is to make it like a number one app for the personal development aspect, where people can pay a one subscription fee and get all these features available to them.
Yeah, and just for people that might be listening, so from what I understood, like you've got, you can download the app for free, but then there's the premium components of it as well. Can you share more about like the differences?
Yeah, so users have like, so there's like a 7 days trial period, and for the users who are watching, they want to. We are also doing like 3 months of special offer for people, like free of, they can explore the app and get into the habits. And yes, there is a like a $30 subscription, which is a minimum that we want to, set, so that users can get most out of the app. So as we are developing more features into that, they will all be available for that one subscription fee. So that is our goal.
Cool. That sounds good. Anything else you want to share about, the app, or, what's next with regards to that?
Yeah, so our goal has been like, just to keep on adding more features. And we are also trying to leverage, the latest technology. So, and we are doing like constantly researching into how can we make our product better. And like we're, so next set of features that we're focusing on is the well-being aspect. So, and we are kind of working with a breath coach, so to create like a custom program for users to get into that. There's a lot of neuroscience happening where, there's a non-sleep deep rest, something that is of my interest. I use it every day. So I'm trying to, like, I guess, bring more features that are like backed by the science and that has health benefits to the user. So yeah, these are the things I'm up to, researching, exploring, and trying myself and seeing the benefit and trying to incorporate these features on the app for our users.
Yeah, I mean, that piece around like the breath work is really cool, right? Having, a course available, or even like, a lesson available. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a real big draw to using, any app, when there's features that, are connected, you know.
Hmm.
So that's really cool. It's really cool to hear that aspect being added into it. Yeah, that's really exciting to hear. So, as we kind of start to wind down, like just even for yourself, like anything you want to share about like what's next for you, in life. What's next on your journey?
Yeah. Um, so next, like my challenge, I guess my goal for the this quarter has been like, to look into the outside the business and work. So I'm like, started getting the dating world. So possibly like I'm getting pressure from my family, especially like, from the Asian culture. So it's about time, I guess. So, like I'm looking into that. So might be traveling a bit back home this year and, just spend time with family. So that's what been on my plan for now this year.
That's awesome. So go back to Nepal. Would there be anywhere else you'd visit, like while you're in that area?
I haven't the like my primary goal is just to spend time with family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take my mom for to India to travel a bit,
Mm,
and we'll see after that, like
yeah,
possibilities. So yeah.
that's awesome. Well, great to hear. Anything else you want to share before we wind down for this evening?
I think it's been like a great conversation. So the people hearing us, if they, I would just want to share that, like, if they are willing to do something, like, even are thinking about the possibility of, getting to the coaching program, or wanted to try out something, if it's something is present with them, then I would just encourage to them to give it a try. I was someone looking back myself 2 years back. I was thinking about, is this coaching program really for me? And just, want being curious, and I went ahead with that, curiosity to see what was the possible, outcome. And I'm looking back, I'm really grateful that I went through that journey. And now, with having done this inner work, and I'm in much better stage in my life, where I feel like, the world is a oyster. If we really want to do something, we'll see the possibility. It's just about focusing on one thing at a time and just moving along, and I think things will fall into place. So
Mm,
yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing. And there's a couple of things that I want to, just share about you. Like even in this conversation, it's pretty cool to hear like possibility and breakdown and breakthrough, like how some of these concepts that we worked with that like they've really stuck with you. You've really like gained mastery over some of these things that we spoke about, in conversation. And so it's like that's such a cool thing just to experience, experience that from you, that it's like, yeah, these concepts really stuck. They're part of your being now, and that's really exciting. um, and I think that, so we've talked about the app. One thing I also want to mention that we actually didn't mention on this call is that Sarad actually has an Instagram channel as well, which is a really excellent resource, for personal development, for just resources in itself. So I'd love it if you'd share that as well afterwards, just for people to
Oh
check
yeah.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, like you mentioned, I was really curious into exploring myself more, like having gone through a lot of experiences in my life. So and that led to, myself into the coaching program. And some of the practices I like keep up to date is, what you just spoke of. And they're really game changing. It's like we don't need a lot of things, we just need like few things that we practice over and over. I think it's getting mastery over one thing, then I think it brings a lot of clarity into other things in our life also. And if you want to start with the one thing, and I think understanding ourselves is the best way to go about, to really explore ourselves into deeper and to understand our patterns. And yeah, go be curious and go about things, I think, and things will fall into place. And yeah, I do share a lot of my experience in form of, like the contents online. So I have like two handles, one for my app and another one is like um, go by positive mindset handle. So really encouraging people to adopt that mindset of being positive and see the obstacle as opportunity, um, as a opportunity to move forward in life. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll make sure to put the handles in the chat afterwards and share the app uh, pages, this App Store pages as well, both
Yeah.
for iPhone and then for Google Play. And before you leave, I'm pretty sure I saw on your T-shirt the app, so you got to
Yeah, this
share
is
that.
the
You got to stand up and show, or there
oh
you
yeah.
go. Yeah, that's
So this
awesome.
is the our logo, and the
Yeah,
message is get off your comfort, yo.
that's awesome. You know what's cool about that? I don't know. Did you ever see like the body break commercials back in the day? I'm guessing you
No,
probably didn't, but like
no, I
in the
didn't.
90s, there was a big fitness campaign called Body
Mm,
Break. And
okay,
not that I'm
that's
not aging your shirt by any means, but it's funny because like if you go back and
that's interesting.
check out, you could go on YouTube and like
Okay,
check out the
I'm
video of
gonna check out
Body
that.
Break. Like the thing that reminds me of is the blue. The blue, for whatever reason, the
Oh,
color
okay,
blue on the shirt. It just, maybe it was in the logo or something like that. But like you'll
interesting.
get a laugh out of it. It was a
Okay.
really really popular um, fitness like platform in the 90s.
Oh
So
wow, that's
yeah,
interesting. I didn't know that. Like I just went with this color because
yeah,
blue is the color of trust, and that was my
uh-huh.
reason. So
No, it's cool,
I'm
man.
gonna check out. Like it's so funny.
For sure, for sure. Well, thanks, Sarad, for jumping on and sharing your journey. And yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what happens next for you. So
yeah.
um,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks for the opportunity. It's always fun to talk to you, and in this moment, like we create a lot of this outcome is amazing. Like this conversation, this insights that come along. It's been the same in our one-on-one coaching. Like every week has always been like really insightful. It's like a co-creation process.
hmm,
So yeah, I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. And for the folks that, watch this to the end, check out the links and yeah, we will catch you on the next live. So thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Bye for now.